Damage is an integral part of the game of Dauntless. Dealing damage to behemoths is the main method in which you progress through the game. When you have damage present in a game, there comes a natural curiosity with that damage. How much damage can you deal in a given situation? In Dauntless, there are quite a few ways that you can go about gaining a percentage increase to your damage. But how high of a percent damage boost can you have in Dauntless? Well, that's the question we'll be tackling today. Hello everyone, my name is Trevor, I go by TheMrTrails, and welcome to the channel. Before we get into the video today, I wanted to say for those of you who didn't know, my in-game Dauntless Flare is now available. It is a Twitch subscriber incentive, but you'll also be able to get it for free through Twitch channel points, which you earn just by watching. And it actually looks like we might be making the final push for Twitch partners, so if you guys have the time, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could stop by. I'm on Twitch Thursdays and Saturdays, and lately we've been doing Dauntless trial carries over there, and usually there's also a Hunt Pass giveaway going on as well. Speaking of giveaways, there's one going on in the Discord server right now, and we'll be pulling the winners of it on March 26th. The Discord server is also a great place for you to know when I post anything on YouTube or when we're starting up a hangout on Twitch. So a quick disclaimer here, we're looking specifically for damage sources that are added to the raw damage multiplier. So there are some damage sources that technically would allow you to deal a higher damage number, but wouldn't add to the total percent damage bonus, but it would rather multiply by it. There are some very obvious places that we can go to try and get ourselves the highest damage boost. For starters, we've got the Tragic Echo exotic helmet, where once you die, you resurrect for 15 seconds as a shadow clone. During those 15 seconds, you deal an additional 100% damage. This is tied for the highest percent damage boost that we'd be able to get from our equipment. It is tied with Savagery, which will give us plus 100% core damage against parts that have been wounded. What this means is that we'll either have to slide in Acidic for ourselves to use, be playing in a group, or be playing Warpike. Since our question was related to the absolute maximum percent damage boost we'd be able to get, we will be playing in a group. With just Tragic Echo and Savagery, we're already at a plus 200% damage boost here, which is pretty good. Our next best damage boost from our equipment would be Overpower, which would give us plus 60% damage whenever a behemoth is in an animation for a part break, stagger, interrupt, or shock proc. So far, the conditions we'll have to meet for this maximum percent damage boost are to die for Tragic Echo, attack a wounded part while the behemoth is interrupted or staggered for a nice 260% boost. But we've got plenty room for more damage from our equipment, and we're going to need a more specific scenario than that still. Our next damage boost is going to be coming from the Frenzy Tonic. If we're using Catalyst, have our Slayer's Path upgrade for extra tonic effectiveness, and the behemoth is enraged, we'll now be doing an extra 55% damage thanks to the Frenzy Tonic. However, we might want to consider not using Catalyst for this. If we take away having Catalyst, but still have the tonic effectiveness from the Slayer's Path and the behemoth is enraged still, that is going to be 37% damage, meaning Catalyst is adding 18% damage at the cost of 6 perk economy. Catalyst can do many other things, which is why it is such an important cell in the meta, but for this purpose, we can find other ways to boost our percent damage increase higher without it. So we'll be rocking the Frenzy Tonic without Catalyst for 37% damage boost. The only other consumable that will give us one of these percent damage boosts is the Inspiring Pylon, which if we have the extra effectiveness boost from the Slayer's Path, we'll get an extra 31% damage when standing inside of the pylon. So now we're up to a 328% damage boost, and we've only used 12 of our 33 possible perk economy on this, as using the Tragic Echo makes us lose 3 potential perk points. So we've got room for 3 more plus 6 perks and a plus 3 perk, and we'll get into that a bit later. We still haven't even decided though what weapon we're going to be using. There aren't a whole lot of raw damage bonuses that are present from using particular weapons, but there are a few. The Hammer's Mighty Landbreaker special can be of use here. Its base effect grants a 20% damage buff for 30 seconds. However, if the ammo is Aether Charged, this will provide a bonus increase to the percent damage boost. The bonus given to the boost is is 75%, which brings the Landbreaker Special's effectiveness to a 35% damage boost. However, you are able to take that even further. If you use the Antique Clip mod, the boost from Aether Charged Ammo rises to 300%, turning into a 60% damage boost from the Mighty Landbreaker Special with the Antique Clip mod with Aether Charged Ammo. The best news about this is that we ourselves don't even have to be playing Hammer. The Mighty Landbreaker Special is a buff that anyone can step over and have applied to them. And this isn't the only thing that can increase our damage from the use of a specific weapon. On repeaters, we've got the Marksman Chamber, which will increase your damage by 80% when empowered. The catch with this though is that for this to be actual HP damage, the part has to be broken, which conflicts with Savagery at least until the wound rework comes out. Additionally, repeaters have a mobility slot, meaning we won't want to play repeaters ourselves for this one because that will take away from our potential damage. On the axe, we've got the Determination meter, which you can level up and gain some significant damage bonuses. Normally, this bonus caps out at 50% for reaching level 3 on the Determination meter. However, you can actually raise this cap to 75% using the Overcharged Cylinder mod. Using this takes away our ability to use the Rail Splitter's Canteen mod, which could have been used to level up our Frenzy Tonic even more. But the percent damage bonus gained from Overcharged Cylinder is 25% compared to the 15.5% from Rail Splitter's Canteen. But this 75% isn't actually the best we can do, at least for the time being. The winner for the highest percent damage bonus that comes installed on a weapon is the Warpike. This will actually change once the pike changes and the wound rework have made it into the game, and it will become tied with the axe in the maximum possible percent damage bonus. However, it would be very unlikely that you would ever be able to get it there, so axe would be the way to go after the pike update. But for the time being, let's check out what we can do with it. On the Warpike, we've got the Executioner's Spearhead mod. After getting 10 wounds in the hunt we're in, we can grab a 60% damage bonus to our attacks. But we've also got the Warpike's Special meter, providing up to a 20% damage bonus for attacks coming in quick succession, meaning our total percent damage bonus while playing the Warpike, at least in the patches before the pike update, is 80%. And unlike the Repeater's 80% damage bonus, we can actually use this with Savagery. So let's get an update on our total percent damage increase here. We've got 100% from Tragic Echo, 100% from Savagery, 60% from Overpower, 60% from Executioner's Spearhead, 60% from a teammate having an Aether Charged Mighty Landbreaker with Antique Clip, 37% from the Frenzy Tonic, 31% from the Inspiring Pylon, and 20% from the Warpike Special meter. So far, that tallies a 468% damage boost, but we still aren't done just yet. We can use the Drask Lantern, and with the Lantern Tap ability, we can increase this number by another 30% to get us to 498% damage boost. And we've still got to choose the specific Behemoth's Warpike that we want to use. We can either use the Shroud or the Koshai Warpikes for this, as they both give a 50% damage bonus from their unique effect. While the Koshai unique effect would only be for a few hits, since we're going for a maximum here, it would be effectively the same. I actually stumbled into the God Hand while I was looking for things on this video, and I thought, could the God Hand somehow be the best for this? For this case, the 200% damage bonus of the God Hand beam is applied directly to the base damage of the beam itself, meaning that it won't stack with our other damage bonuses in the same way. This is actually better for the weapon's damage itself, however, this doesn't exactly count for what we're trying to achieve here. So with the Shroud or the Koshai Warpike, we'll get our percent damage bonus up to 548%. And now we can get back to filling out the perk economy, and due to the built-in perk of the Warpike we're using, this will mean we have 18 perk points left. If we go with Rage Hunter, a 40% damage bonus when the Behemoth is enraged, we get to 588%. However, we will also need Aether Hunter here, since we will get a 50% damage bonus when the Behemoth is Aether Charged, bringing us to 638% damage. We've only got 2 cell slots remaining in our perk economy, of which one of them will have to be a utility cell from our Lantern. So with our last remaining cell slot, we're going to go with Berserker, from which the 20% damage boost here is the highest that we can get from a single +3 perk at this point. For our +3 utility cell, we will be taking Zeal, as the momentary percent damage bonus that we gain from Zeal is ever so slightly higher than that of taking a Catalyst +3 instead. Don't be mistaken though, if we were concerned about sustaining the damage for the whole fight, we'd be taking Catalyst every time. So we've finally got our build for this finalized. Let's go over it one more time to see what it looks like. We've got 100% from Tragic Echo, 100% from Savagery, 60% from Overpower, 60% from Executioner Spearhead, 60% from a teammate having an Aether Charged Mighty Landbreaker with Antique Clip, 50% from Aether Hunter, 50% from our Shroud or Koshai unique effect, 40% from Rage Hunter, 40.5% from the Drask Lantern and Zeal 3, 37% from the Frenzy Tonic, 31% from the Inspiring Pylon, 20% from Berserker, and 20% from the Warpike Special Meter. This comes out to a 668.5% damage boost, and if we round to the nearest whole number, it's looking pretty nice. And that's all we're able to muster out of our build, but we're still not done yet, because we can choose to play in the Escalation game mode, which gives us the opportunity to get even higher of a percent damage bonus. The question is, which Escalation would we want to do? I was thinking with the Transcendent Spite Amp, that would make Shock Escalation our best bet. However, the Transcendent Spite Amp affects the crit severity multiplier, and not the raw damage multiplier that we're looking to increase to its max. So we'll be heading to Frost Escalation for this one. A lot of the damage that we'll be seeing here is going to come from the passive skills from the Escalation talent tree. We've got Cat's Claws, which will be an additional 10% damage at all times. We've got Cold Rush, which will give us 10% damage for 2 minutes after a behemoth has died. We've got Heated Blade, which will give us a 50% damage increase buff to a particular hit for each brazier we walk past. And we've got the big one, Aspect of the Scout, which can give us a rather large damage boost. Let's say you accumulate 44 wounds, which without any bugs or behemoths spawning twice would be the theoretical maximum you could get, since Charog cannot spawn in a Frost Escalation. That'd be 176% damage from the Aspect of the Scout alone. This would put us at 914.5% damage. And the final source of the percent damage increase we are going to see is going to come from the amps we are able to select, as well as the amps our team is able to select. If one of your teammates was able to get the Unifying Destruction amp and is able to give you some shield during your Tragic Echo, you'll get an extra 10% damage. If another teammate gets the Controlled Unity amp, after Urska has been staggered, you'll gain 15% damage for 15 seconds. And if you have one more teammate that grabs the Locus of Power, if you're able to stand inside of it, that'll be another 30% damage. If all players are able to grab squad goals, that would be another 20% damage. Then, if all of your friends grabbed Force twice and you grabbed it once, that would be an additional 14% damage. And if we take Executioner and Elemental Form Umbral on rounds with Boon of the Warden Warrior, that would be another 124% damage that we'd be able to gain from the Escalation amps in a full squad of 4. And with that, we've arrived at our grand total. You will have a 1038.5% damage bonus when you are using the Shroud Warpike in Tragic Echo, hitting a wounded part, have full weapon meter, have 10 stacks of Berserker and Executioner Spearhead after Urska has been staggered, having an Aether Charged Mighty Landbreaker with Antique Clip active against an enraged and Aether Charged Urska while Urska is under 50% HP after a Lantern Hold, standing in the Locus of Power, using your Drask Lantern tap, standing within an Inspiring Pylon. After drinking a Frenzy Tonic 2 minutes after a behemoth has died with a charge of Heated Blade, getting all wounds on every single behemoth, and having you and your teammates pull an absolute god run of damaging amps in a Frost Escalation. Needless to say, this is a very specific situation. So specific that with the amount of RNG involved and how specific the mechanical setup is, this would be something like a 1 in 100,000 to many millions chance to actually have occurred. So why did I bother doing this? Well, I think sometimes it's good to reflect on the limits of what is possible. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like on the video. And I definitely don't plug this enough, I do have an Epic Games supporter creator code. Consider using code TheMrTrails when you're making a purchase in the Dauntless in-game store or Epic Games store. And if you enjoy the game of Dauntless and are not subscribed already, consider subscribing to the channel. I post Dauntless content here every week. And to stay up to date with my content both here on YouTube and on Twitch in the best way, as well as keeping up with any giveaways I'll be doing, join the Discord server in the description. I manually make a post whenever I do anything content or giveaway related. I have been Trevor, I go by the Mr. Trails, and I will catch you guys next time.